Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm starting a brand new series of modded 1.20 Minecraft. Recording this video was my first time ever playing 1.20, so there are lots of brand new things which I haven't even seen yet. Also, most of the mods are ones which I haven't played or even heard of before, so I'll be adventuring and finding things as I go. I started this episode by brutally murdering some innocent pigs. I need the food, so you can't really blame me. After that, I then found a waystone which I activated so I could come back to the spawn area should I need to at any point in the future. I then brutally murdered some more pigs before finding a ruined portal and taking the loot. There wasn't much of interest, but I did get a golden apple from it. I then brutally murdered a few more pigs before brutally murdering some sheep as I needed their wool for a bed. After my killing spree, I chopped down my first tree, made a crafting table, crafted a bed, and skipped the night. In the morning, I crafted a wooden pickaxe so I could mine some stone and get some basic tools, as well as a furnace to cook my pork. Speaking of which, I then brutally murdered another pig, this time with my pickaxe. After that, I then found some coal in a small cave and gathered it all up. So I'm not making this video and just ignoring the fact that I haven't uploaded in over a year now. I was going to make a video talking about it, but that would be boring and no one would watch it. Basically, I wanted to continue with my VR content that I was doing previously, but I couldn't do it how I wanted to. My green screen setup was always a temporary thing. I couldn't justify spending money on one of those that you can just pull up and down when you need. The views on those videos were a lot better than my Minecraft ones, which put me off returning to this type of video. But recently I decided I wanted to get back onto YouTube and decided to make some Minecraft content once again, because it's what I know how to do. After I gathered all of the coal, I left the cave, crafted a furnace, and smelted my pork. I then proceeded to jump around the furnace in circles, wasting more hunger for absolutely no reason. Well, perhaps it was to justify killing so many pigs. I then crafted a stone sword, pickaxe, axe, and shovel, as well as some torches. And then I found a small water-filled cave and decided to jump down, mainly to see if I could find any iron. I found some more coal, which I gathered anyway, in case I needed at any point in the future. I then found an unusual ore that I'd never seen before, so I decided to mine it to find out what it was. It turned out to be aluminium, and I had no idea what it did in the game, but I hoped it would be useful later in the series. I also found and gathered up some copper while I was down there. I then dug my way up to the surface so that I could skip the night. I came across some jungle trees and chopped them down, completely forgetting I had a mod which chops down the whole tree when you break just one block, which was a nice surprise but probably a bit overpowered. I made sure to collect some saplings before crafting a boat and continuing on with my journey. As I went deeper into the jungle, I gathered some melons and chopped down some bamboo. I then came across a flaming azalea tree, which I thought was probably a sign of bad luck in some way. I gathered some cocoa beans and left the jungle, brutally murdering a pig for good measure. I then spotted a boat structure, so decided to swim over and see what it was. There was a villager named Todd on board, who I traded with to get some emeralds. I then looted his boat, mainly finding fish and string, but also some lapis and an enchanted fishing rod. I also found some dried kelp hidden away, so took that, and then I stole his lanterns, replacing them with torches, as I'm not completely evil. I said goodbye to Todd and then left to continue on with my journey. Not far from Todd and his boat, I found some more aluminium on the surface and my first few bits of iron, so I gathered those. I then hopped in my boat, but not for long as I noticed that the sun was starting to set. I parked up my boat next to a small island, placed down my bed, and very impatiently waited for the game to let me sleep. I got up bright and early and hopped back into my boat in search of somewhere to call home. After a while, I found a sunken ship which didn't have a whole lot to offer, but I took some of the loot anyway. I then found another fishing boat, but this time there was a villager called Jenna. Here I found more of the same, but also a smithing template, which I thought was a modded item at the time because I'm not very familiar with it. Once I found land, I decided to do the rest of my journey by foot. I found a really cool looking tree, and then not long after, I had my first in-person look at the Cherry Grove biome. I then skipped the night once again, collected some cherry blossom saplings, and thought about entering this massive cave, but I quickly decided against doing that as I knew I would die in seconds with no armor. I found some snow in the mountains, which I thought looked really nice next to the Cherry Grove. And then I found another ruined portal which had some glistening melons, but not much else. I decided to set up my base in the Cherry Grove, so did some terraforming to make way for my house. After flattening the ground, I smelted my few pieces of iron, crafting a sword and a pickaxe. I then ventured off in search of materials to build my house out of. I was mainly looking for spruce or dark oak or anything interesting which was modded. I gathered some pumpkins before finding these very autumnal looking trees. I wasn't entirely sure whether they were a modded or just a 1.20 thing at first, as they looked so good. I gathered some of the wood, which turned out to be maple, and thought I'd look to see what the stripped and plank variants of it looked like, but was disappointed to find that there were no maple planks. I made sure to collect some of each of the saplings, and straight away found some dark oak trees, so collected some saplings from them also. On my way back home, I spotted this floating structure which took my interest. I noted down the coordinates so I could build up and explore it in a future episode, so stay tuned to find out what's up there. I got back home, skipped the night, and sorted out my inventory. This video has been in a very different style to what I'm used to doing. I imagine this series will be a mix of voiced over parts like this, and live commentary as I normally do. For any long-term viewers, I will note that this is not going to be like Mystery Mods, as there won't be a storyline, but I do definitely plan on bringing back some of my friends to join me in the series later on. That does about wrap up this episode though. In the next one, I'll be starting work on my house, doing a bit of mining, and probably going to see what that huge floating structure in the sky is. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you decide to stick around, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.